In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
The twice impeached coup-plotting former president of the United States who stole classified documents from the White House and who's currently under multiple investigations and potentially facing indictment, and most notably was an extra in the hit 1992 film Home Alone 2, announced that he is running for president again. And I, for one, love that the slogan this time presumably is MAGAGA. Beautiful. Run with that, Trump, please. Now, if you missed his announcement speech, well, you didn't miss much. It was 70 minutes long, and he just droned on and on and on in Trumpian fashion, albeit with much less energy than usual.
We will immediately tackle inflation and bring down to a level that it was. We were at 0, but actually the best number is 1%. Do you know that? We're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts, because it's the only way. And I'm a victim, I will tell you. I'm a victim. Think of it.
Now, if you feel exhausted watching that, just hearing Donald Trump triggers something in my brain that makes me just feel nothing but dread and distraught. But regardless, his supporters were very amped up and hyped, anticipating his announcement. And outside of Trump Tower in New York, they had a very strong message for Ron DeSantis, potential rival to Donald Trump.
USA! USA! This is very disrespectful in the Arab states.
Ron has got too big for his britches.
He's out.
He has plenty of time to gain wisdom.
Trump or death.
Let him stay in Florida for a while.
Remember when they did the Saddam Hussein statue came down?
That's right, yes.
Remember when the Saddam statue came down?
Hey.
My father used to say to me, he used to say, son, I brought you into this world, I can take you out.
Everything DeSantis
We're taking him out.
Everything he's got, he goes to Trump.
It's Trump or death.
But I want to give a message out. I want to send a message. You think Nancy Pelosi might watch this? Well, Nancy, your reign of terror is almost over, and I hope you realize there's no ice cream in hell. And your husband's a cruiser. He cruises for rough trade on Castro Street.
This is Ed, the Santa Claus.
Put him on a short leash.
I don't know about you, but to me, they sound like perfectly stable and reasonable people. Now, even though Trump supporters were trolling DeSantis, well, DeSantis' supporters were also trolling Donald Trump at the same time, specifically by flying a DeSantis 2024 flag banner over Mar-a-Lago. And when you see that Laura Loomer is also turning against Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling her a traitor to the America First movement, and when you see non-stop chud-on-chud violence, I think it's safe to say that the great GOP war of 2024 has officially kicked off. Now, to me, I think that the best case scenario here, for America anyways, is Trump gets challenged by DeSantis. DeSantis beats Donald Trump, thus leading to Donald Trump crying fraud. And since he was wronged, since the election was very unfair and rigged, he runs as an independent, thus splitting the votes between the GOP base and paving the door to the Democrat winning in 2024. That, to me, would be the best case scenario and the most funny scenario, the most funny outcome of Trump announcing that he's running for president. And look, I don't want to throw too much doubt into Donald Trump's potential chance of success here, because back in 2016, I think everyone doubted him and they were proven wrong, although things are definitely different now, regardless if he still does have a fairly good shot at winning the GOP nomination. For example, Ivanka Trump announced that she's dipping out this time, writing on Instagram, "I love my father very much. This time around, I am choosing to prioritize my young children and the private life we are creating as a family. I do not plan to be involved in politics. While I will always love and support my father going forward, I will do so outside the political arena. I am grateful to have had the honor of serving the American people, and I will always be proud of many of our administration's accomplishments." And she's not only dipping out in round 2, but she didn't even attend his big announcement ceremony, which is probably a smart decision considering that it was so boring that there were people who were trying to leave, but security wouldn't let them leave.
I actually saw people trying to leave and people leaving early even before he was done. He's still speaking now. And then they, I think perhaps a little concerned that the hall would empty out too much, they actually started preventing people from leaving. So now they're no longer allowing people to leave.
And look, it's not like droves of people wanted to leave. It's not like the arena was being cleared out, but there was enough people that wanted to leave to where it was pretty noticeable. Now take a look at the people who wanted to leave and the response that they got from security.
Help is on the way. Joe Biden has abolished America's borders. We are going to restore and secure America's borders just like we had them before, best ever. We built the wall, and now we will add to it. Now we built the wall. We completely.
I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but even Trump himself sounded bored. We built the wall. We completed the wall. Like, he just sounds not like himself. I think that in 2016, there was a lot of optimism there. He was trying it out. He thought it would be a new opportunity, but now he has a lot more enemies, a lot more working against him, a lot of legal issues that could potentially throw a wrench in his presidential run. So he just kind of sounds deflated. And I mean, if you're going to drone on for 70 minutes, of course, people are going to get bored, but they should have known. And listen, it's not just people at the event that were kind of turned off by Donald Trump, but even conservatives across the internet don't really seem that enthusiastic. They seem pretty ambivalent, to be honest. And I want to share this tweet from Dave's New World, who highlights some of the responses from the conservative subreddit. And they weren't too thrilled about Trump's announcement overall, with one user saying, "I feel like he's holding us all at gunpoint." You have others saying, "He's going to be the Hillary Clinton of the Republican Party in 2024, isn't he? I bet he threatens to run third party if DeSantis wins primaries, which would guarantee a Democrat president." Another says, "Trump announces he will lose us the 2024 election and hand a supermajority over to the Democrats." This user says, "Just a few months ago, everyone here was riding the Trump train. How things can change." And that's not to say that everyone in that particular thread on our conservative was not excited about Trump running. But the people who were kind of ambivalent and disappointed about the fact that he was running, those were the posts that got the most upvotes. Now, sure, those are kind of just like standard conservatives, right? They can be anti-Trump, but certainly his most loyal sycophants, i.e. the QAnon people, they're going to be thrilled, are they not? Well, the influencers are thrilled, but rank-and-file QAnon members, they're not actually happy about Trump announcing that he's running for president again. As Vice News' David Gilbert explains, QAnon is not very happy with Trump's 2024 announcement. And even though many influencers within the Q cult were thrilled, especially considering the fact that Trump invited them to this announcement and even made references to their conspiracies, well, just normal QAnoners on Telegram were talking about how disappointed they were. Here's what some of them said. Does he seriously think there will be anyone left to vote in 2 years? Or better yet, that our country will even be viable? We will not make it 2 more years. This is a flippin' joke. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pissed. The storm is coming in 2 years, one member of a popular QAnon forum wrote on Telegram after Trump's speech. Patriots aren't in control of anything. The cabal is, another wrote. Others were even less conciliatory. I'm fucking done with this political shit show and will never vote again. Fuck politics and the Nazi regime, one Telegram user wrote. Some influencers tried to quell the concern, but after QAnon John suggested in a post that Trump's abandoning of the 2020 election denier claims was all part of the plan, one Telegram user responded, "Trump pissed off a lot of people tonight. Never thought my loyalty would be challenged by the Democrats, but instead from Trump himself. We will not wait until 2024. Trump conceded tonight. It's over. Trump being one of them seems much more plausible now." When one major QAnon group posted a message suggesting that Trump had prevented election fraud in 2016 when he was first voted into office and would do so again in 2024, a follower of the group angrily replied, "If they could have stopped the fraud, why didn't he in 2020 or 2022 stop it?" Now, I don't want to give you this false impression that most QAnon cultists are angry that Trump is announcing that he's running for president again. I think that probably most of them were happy by this, but there's a lot of Q cultists who are angry because the prophecy was that Trump at some point during Biden's presidency would take back the reins of power. But he's not doing that, and he's effectively conceding, and he's just going to run in 2024, which they are not happy about. So to see QAnon Trump sycophants say, "We're not really happy about this run," it tells you that things are different this time around. Again, I don't want to make it seem as if I'm confidently predicting that Trump will lose this nomination. I think that it's entirely possible that he wins. However, things are different. The enthusiasm is much less this time around, and some of his most loyal supporters are turning against him. And now we're seeing the beginning of a GOP civil war. And I say, bring it on. The more that they fight, the more that they desecrate Ron DeSantis flags, the better that is for the United States of America, the better that is for democracy. So even if I'm a little bit exhausted with Donald Trump, and I certainly have Trump fatigue, I think that it's good that he's announcing this run again, especially before Herschel Walker's race, because hopefully he could tank Herschel Walker and take the focus off of Herschel Walker. And I hope that this leads to a GOP civil war, because that's good for America. So, yeah, grab your popcorn, folks, because the shit show has only just begun. Magaga.
Mike is a total shitlib. Once he started shilling for the DNC, I stopped watching. So I definitely won't be hitting the subscribe button or turning on notifications by clicking the bell. No way. It's very sad, I know.